I'm speaking to you from inside St Mary's Church, Rostherne, towards the end of what has been a glorious spring day. It's Thursday the 26th of March, and I'm doing a dry run for a video production which I'm hoping to do each Sunday of reflections, worship and prayer. As you're probably aware, the Archbishops of Canterbury and York have suspended public worship in response to the increasing coronavirus epidemic. It's important that our places of worship be closed so that people do not gather together and risk catching infections. Up until Monday, our churches were able to be open as places of prayer. And on Sunday, this church received a steady stream of visitors, observing, of course, the hygiene regulations and social spacing, taking time to pray for themselves or for those they love, lighting a candle as a response to that prayer, and using the available facilities, a booklet on home worship and a leaflet on prayer to help them. Those resources, the home worship booklet and the leaflet on prayer, are available for our congregations to have either online or they can be posted. This is a very difficult time for all of us. The epidemic is making inroads into our society and changing the way we do things, the way we live our lives. We're not used in this country to having restrictions on our way of life, to being able to go out to socialise, to shop whenever we like, to go out to pubs and clubs, to gyms. I particularly miss going to the gym and swimming 3 times a week. But it's essential, if we are to control the outbreak of this virus and the way it spreads, that we listen to the government, we take its advice, and we restrict how we live our lives. If we don't do so, the outbreak will increase, and there is a possibility that the NHS will not be able to cope with the number of patients it receives. I am preparing, as I said, to do a weekly video recording of reflections, worship and prayer from one of our 4 churches, either here at St Mary's, at St John's at High Lee, at St Paul's at Overtabley, or at Holy Trinity at Little Boddington. We cannot come to church, but church can come to us. And we have to remember that even though churches are closed, God is with us through his Son Jesus Christ, wherever we are. We're doing our best to keep in touch with all our congregations and to make sure that they have enough food and medicine if they can't go out and get it for themselves. Fortunately, many of our congregation have younger families who can look after them, and of course they are concerned about their parents or their grandparents. Many of those who came into our church on Sunday afternoon were anxious about the future. They were worried about their families. They were worried about what was going to happen to them. And that is obvious. And it's obvious that all of us are concerned about those we love. Hopefully none of those who came in on Sunday afternoon were mourning the loss of somebody they loved, taken prematurely. But that surely is the case with many people around this country. And our thoughts and prayers have to be with them at what is a difficult and sad time. I especially miss our storytelling congregation. At the last session we had around 30 adults and children on a wonderful time together. And I hope in the future to be able to record a storytelling session in our special place, the Edgerton Chapel, to send out to them. And at the same time, Patricia is sending the story out and suggestions for craft which children can do that reflect the story they've heard and hopefully they've seen. So at this difficult time when we're all facing restrictions, we have to listen to the government, we have to do what they do, we have to take their advice and stick to it. And that's very important, and I can't repeat that often enough. We keep the distance between ourselves, we wash our hands or use sanitizer frequently, we make sure that we keep ourselves safe and those others around us. This podcast is a new thing for me, this video. You're getting what you get. This, with all its flaws and all its uncertainties and all its mistakes. After all, this is what our congregations in our thought churches get every Sunday. They get me up at the front of church doing what I do, and they accept me for what I am. So please accept this effort as a run-up to that. And my thoughts and prayers are very much with you at this time, and I pray that you have us, Patricia, myself and Trish, in your prayers as well. I was talking to our Archdeacon this afternoon. All the archdeacons and the bishop are trying to ring up all the clergy at some point during the week to see how they're getting on. And I was able to tell him that our congregations, no matter what their situations, are in good heart, and pray that they continue to be so. I don't know what this Easter will have for us. I suspect that the restrictions will not have been lifted, and our Easter Sunday worship will have to be recorded. But I shall light our Easter candle, our Paschal candle, on Easter Sunday morning. When I light it, it symbolises the life of the risen Lord Jesus Christ, who came into our world to forgive sins and to open the gates of heaven to all who put their trust in him. He calls us into a new relationship with his Father in heaven. He welcomes us to be part of his family. And even at this difficult time, he reassures us of his love, concern, and care for us. So wherever you are, however you receive this, I pray that God will be with you and bless you. You'll keep well. And I pray that the time will come when we can once again meet together for worship in one of our 4 churches, being church together rather than church in a different way. So for now, I bring this broadcast to an end, wishing you God bless, good health, and take care. Amen.